Hello, this is Nick Sennett from Richard Stromberg Chicago Photography Classes. Upon the request of some Photo 3 students, I wanted to touch base and talk to you about one of the new features of Lightroom Classic is what we call masking, color masking and luminosity masking. And it is in the selective tools of the graduated filter tool, the radial filter tool, and the adjustment brush. So I'll give you some examples on how to use it. So let's take this photo of this boathouse. And let's say I wanted to affect the sky. And when we only want to adjust the sky, we normally use the graduated filter. So I'm going to come over here to my graduated filter tool and make sure the graduated filter is on the sky. So I'm going to go ahead and hold down the shift key to keep it horizontal, and I'm going to hold down the shift key and click and hold and drag down, which I'm going to go ahead and do. And you can see that the filter is now on top of the sky, but you can see whatever I do is going to also affect the buildings. If I turn off my mask by hitting the O key, you can kind of see if I adjust my exposure, it's affecting the building as well, and that's not what I want. Let's go ahead and hit the O key to show the mask again. So if we wanted to do this prior to Lightroom Classic, I would have to use the brush and actually delete the mask, the graduated filter, right along this building. And that's just very labor intensive. Now, with the new range mask feature that you see right down here at the bottom of the graduated filter tool, I can go ahead and adjust it. And we're going to adjust this one based on color. And when we adjust it based on color, we click on color and we have this eyedropper that pops up. And if you can guess, I'm going to go ahead and pick up the eyedropper by clicking on it and bring the eyedropper in the tool and watch what now my mask does, my graduated filter tool, when I click on the sky. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the sky, and now you can see that it is not affecting the building, it is just affecting the sky. And we have this amount slider, and we can adjust this slider by what we want it to be affecting. You can see I can pretty much now getting all of my sky affected, and it's still not affecting my building. If I turn off the mask overlay, and you can see now it is you don't see the green from the mask overlay, and I adjust the sky, now you can see that the sky is being affected and not the building itself. And I can go ahead and bring down my exposure, maybe bring up my clarity, and bring up my contrast to really highlight some of these clouds. And so it's a really quick and easy way to select areas of the photo using the graduation filter tool. So we're going to go ahead and click done there, and we're going to go off to a different photo. We'll use this photo off the coast of Greece and show you another example, another way you could do it. So again, I want to affect the sky, but not the coastline, not the stone coastline. So again, I'm going to go ahead and turn on my graduated filter tool, hold down the shift key and drag it down, and I'm going to bring this all the way down to the horizon and bring down the exposure. Well, again, I'm affecting, if I go ahead and include my mask overlay, you can see that it is affecting everything, the coast and the sky. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my range mask back to color. And instead of just one click with my eyedropper on the sky, because if I turn my range mask off, you can see, because the sky is has different tonalities of blue. You can see the different tones of blue all the way, the range of blues. I'm going to go ahead and adjust, make sure it's affecting all of these tones. So how you can do that, let me go ahead and turn on the mask overlay so you can see. So I'm going to go ahead and click, hold, and now drag and create this box. And by creating this box, it is now going to affect all of the tones of the blues. And as soon as I if I take my finger off the button, you're going to see that the adjustments are only, the filter is only going to take effect to what I want. If I take it off, you can see that it is quickly on this, and I can adjust the amounts here and remove all the adjustments from the stones. And now take my mask overlay off, and you can quickly see that I'm only affecting now the sky in itself. Okay, so that's the color. Let's go ahead and go over to luminosity. So if I'm going to go ahead and come here to luminosity and so on this photo I have detail in the stones, but my sky is fairly well blown out. Because we're not talking with color, we're talking more tonality. That's luminance. So luminance is the range from whites to blacks. Okay? And we're able to adjust and select based on luminance. So if I go ahead and put a graduated filter and I want to recover the sky here, I can go ahead and shift click and bring down that graduated filter, and you can see I'm starting to get, if I bring up my clarity, I'm starting to get detail built back into the sky. It's not all blown out, but it's also affecting the stones. Well, I'm going to now do this range mask based on luminance, and when I do it based on luminance, a different box comes up. I don't have that eyedropper tool anymore that I did in color. I have actually this range slider, and this range slider works is on this left side, this is the blacks. Okay, over here on this left is the blacks, and over here on the right is the whites, and all in between is the tones between whites and blacks to mid-tones. So if I go ahead and adjust, we're adjusting here, we're adjusting the range, and we're actually coming here protecting the blacks, meaning the blacks are not going to be included in our graduated filter tool. And if I bring this down, only our midtones are being right there. Let's adjust a little bit better so you can see. So on this area, only our midtones are being affected. So the easiest way to do this whole thing, let me reset that. And I'm going to go ahead and choose the mask overlay so you can see what's affecting. So now I'm going to go ahead and adjust and take away some of my dark tones, because what I want affected, what I want to adjust is only my sky, which is all of the brighter tones, the whiter tones. The darker tones, the stones, I don't want affected. So I'm going to come here into my range mask. And as I slide this slowly to the right, you can see my stones are coming out of the filter. And you can see now that these stones are coming out, I'm going to adjust it slightly more. And now the stone's out, and now the smoothness is how sharp of a transition you want. And if I go ahead and adjust this smoothness just to the left and make it, you can now see that I have a pretty good mask right just affecting my sky. And if I turn off my mask overlay and really crank my exposure so you can see my stone, my rock faces are now not being affected. It's only the sky that's being affected. So that's how you can use luminance. Now the last thing that I'm going to quickly show you is you can also do this in the radial filter, using it with the radial filter. So if I come here in the radial to this pepper drop and switch over to a radial filter, okay, I can use it the same way. So I'm going to go ahead and I want to adjust this pepper, and I'm going to click, hold, and drag a radial filter around my pepper. And if I just go ahead and use it, you can see that it's affecting everything, the bubbles, the stem, the pepper, all in itself. So I want the pepper only to be affected. Well, you can take a guess. I'm going to use a range mask, and I'm going to actually use a color range mask. So let's go ahead and turn on my mask overlay so you can see the mask overlay is affecting this whole area. And now I'm going to go ahead and turn my range mask, hit color, pick up my eyedropper by clicking on it, come over to my pepper, and simply click on the red of my pepper. Watch my mask. It gets sucked right down to only affecting the pepper. Turn off my mask overlay, and now you can see that I'm only affecting the pepper itself, not the stem, not the bubbles. So that is a quick overview of the range mask feature in Lightroom Classic. I hope that helps. I'm Nick Sennett of Richard Stromberg Chicago Photography Classes. Thank you for watching.